I think it's fitting this morning that we are starting Creative Mornings again as the result of an end moment. Laura, where'd you go, honey? Come here. You and I are sitting here in this space together because there was an end moment going on in Creative Mornings for this chapter. And Laura Lee and her husband Brian bravely decided that that was a beginning opportunity for them. And so I just wanted to say and start with thank you so much for this opportunity, because it is a priceless blessing to be able to sit here in a space with like-minded people, all looking for just a little nugget of something to push us forward today for tomorrow. And you created that for us, not because you're paid to do it, not because somebody dragged you into it, but because you sat and said, my community deserves this. So thank you for taking an end moment and creating a beginning. Can we give her a round of applause, please? So, Creative Mornings is challenging us to believe that end moments have countless possibilities. Raise your hand if an end moment has brought you an unbelievable possibility. Awesome. Can you tell me about yours?
Moving from back east to here was a big change. I had to quit my job and start life all over again, so that was a major change for me. A major end moment and a new beginning moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Who else? Oh, now that I'm calling in, you guys, our hands are going down. So this is probably a good time. I will introduce myself in full, but this is a good time to let you know that this isn't about me, this is about you today. And so I'm just here to catalyze conversation with you. I want us all talking because that's what's going to make each of us better today for tomorrow. So you raised your hand, brave one. Tell me about a possibility that came out of an end moment.
Well, I lost my job due to a merger acquisition, and gave me the opportunity to look for the chance to travel the world for a year and start my own freelance business.
Started your own business?
Yeah.
Wow. That takes courage. So this is me and my handsome husband. Hubby, would you raise your hand? We are co-founders of Tandem Collaborative. We are the quintessential power couple, I guess. I think we're just both weird people that love to do what we do. Our team is also here. Would you guys, so a few members of our team, not everybody, but would you guys raise your hand, please? I am blessed and surrounded by creatives every day. People who design, people who write, people who develop code, people who develop robots. It amazes me, and they're here to be my support system because, Laura Lee, you're not the only one who gets nervous when you go and step in front of a bunch of strangers. So, but we're not going to be strangers after this talk, correct? Okay, good. So a few things about us. We're a strategic consultancy. Somebody earlier, my friend back there in the red, who's in the moment, she asked me, what is it that you guys do? And I said, that's an awesome question. The best way for me to describe what Tandem does is that we catalyze the vision of visionaries. We get in the trenches with leaders here in the Valley as well as all over the world. And we say, where are you and where do you want to go? And together we craft a creative strategy that gets them from point A to point B. I think I have the best job in the world because I get to have those high five moments, those hug moments. I get to cry in the trenches with people when we're in the stretch. Anybody here ever been in the stretch moment before? That shaking moment where you think you're gonna die. I get to have the opportunity to sit next to the best of the best and say, we're gonna punch through this and we're going to build something. What's really neat for me now, I've been doing this for over a decade, is I can drive down just about every freeway in Phoenix, Arizona, and see the result of those moments. Those moments where they thought it wasn't gonna happen, they thought it was the end of the project, the end of the business, the end of a relationship, and yet they punched through and they created opportunity out of it. I'm not standing in front of you today because I'm some expert on all things end moments. End moments come and hit me too, and I, just like anybody else, have that moment of, what am I supposed to do with that? That didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go. Am I good enough to do this? Maybe I'm not. I mean, if this is happening, then clearly I've done something wrong or I'm not ready. So just like anybody else in this room who's experienced the loss of a job, the moving from one place that you know to some place that you don't know, I'm just somebody who's passionate about, hey, even in those moments, I can choose to be empowered. And so today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what different moments of end mean. I love this graphic. It just came out, what, a week ago now? And I think that the designer was very, very, very smart. There's the end of the relationship, which I think is pretty common. We've all had experienced loss, whether that be a loss of a friendship walking away or divorce or loss of life. The loss of a job with the box being emptied. My personal favorite, which I laughed out loud for, is the loss of battery. Anybody have that? That is a real end moment, especially if you're traveling. I asked a few group of my peers, I said, what does the end mean to you? And what's interesting is I could probably come and do the same poll with each of you and get completely different results. My belief is it generally is guided by what your path is right now, what you feel. For some, end is exciting. It's the opportunity for a new beginning. I had one person say, I don't like the word end, don't use it with me. Okay, we'll try that. This person down here thought the end just is end of life, that's it. There was no other thought process. Here's a few more. I love the top one. Just an end of a chapter, beginning of the next, right? So a lot of different opportunities to think about it, and the reality is nobody is wrong and nobody is right. It simply is whatever you choose to make it be. This was my personal favorite. She was honest. She said, when you said end, I first went to a really negative place. And then I remembered this song, Closing Time. If you guys are humming it later, I want to know that, because I like to put songs in people's head for perpetual moments. And she said, I remember that all endings are just another beginning. And I thought that's a really cool way to frame that. For me, I think that there's two types of ends. I think that there's the ends that tap us on the shoulder, and there's the ends that tap us out. Not saying I'm right or wrong, but you get to hear my perspective today, so that's it. Now, the ends that tap us on the shoulder are the ones that I think they're the ones that take us out of the game a lot of the times, because sometimes we frame them as an end and they're really not. They're the ones that we tend to put a little bit more energy into. But I also think that these are the ones that we still have the ability to seek the empowerment and choose to move forward. So we talked about a couple of them. You took a job loss and you created an opportunity to create a career for yourself where you're your own boss. That is taking an end moment and creating something beautiful and powerful out of it. What's interesting and what's kind of sometimes weighs on my heart a little bit is that we're rare. The people in this room we're pretty rare breeds. Because a lot of people will take the end of the job and think, I have nothing left. I don't have anything to go. I don't have anywhere that I can be. That's it. That was it. That was all I knew how to do. And so they sit and they stay. And when we talk about growth or decay, that's when you've chosen into a decay moment. Now, I say that they tap you on the shoulder because their proximity to us are close. If you think about somebody coming up and tapping me on the shoulder, they can be a little bit in front of me, they can be a little bit behind me, they can be a little bit beside me, but they have to be within close proximity. If you lost your job, okay, that's probably pretty recent. It tapped you on the shoulder. If you just went into work and realized or found out that that project that you guys have been working on for months and months and months, the client just decided to pull out of it, well, now it hasn't quite happened yet, but it's on its way. They're tapping you from behind and letting you know it's on its way. So these are the moments that come to us and say, I'm here. And what's interesting is these are the moments that we get sucked into. We get stuck. We get scared. Anybody have those moments? Anybody in one of those end moments right now, you've got something going on and you're brave enough to share? Aw. Bless your heart. Here you go.
Oh, the end moment I'm in?
Yeah.
Man, who's married in the room? Can I get a show of hands here? Just hard, right? My marriage just went through something pretty tough and challenging, and we chose to stick through it and stick in. So I'm on the other end of what I thought was going to be an end. So it's hard, and that was a big tap on the shoulder. So
Yeah. Those moments that you think this is the end, and then you are brave enough to hold on a little bit longer, and you realize it just is going to shift. It's not really ended. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else have an end moment that they're dealing with right now? Okay, I've scared you. I'll come back. All right. For me, I believe that my career has been completely seasoned in end moments. I started in corporate, loved it, worked with all kinds of developers. Do we have any developer people in here? Anybody that write code? No. Okay, anybody that designs websites and works with developers? Yeah. They're my favorite people on the planet. I mean, you don't take them out in public very often, but they're really, really fun. I got an opportunity to start in corporate, and that came to an end. And then I went into agency and learned a lot, and that came to an end. I have every day a project that's coming in and a project that we're in completion on, and so end moments are, I don't look at them as, okay, we're done. I look at them as, all right, we did it, and now what's next? In creative design, if you guys are doing logos or branding or websites or brochures, or if you're designing experiences, ends should be, keyword there, a really big part of your vernacular, because it's about those experiences that they're going to experience at the end of your creation that matter the most. Now, there's the ends that tap us out. Any guesses what I might mean by that? Raise your hand if you thought I meant death. You're right. Okay, so these end moments are the pinnacle of our purpose. In fact, in my mind, there's only one of them. It has two moments when it happens. We'll talk about that in a second here. But this is the end that if we would be focused on it a little bit more, it would ground us in the moments that are shaking us up from those shoulder moments. Ends that tap us out, I can only think of two. There's death, when you are no longer on this planet. And I know that's really heavy. If you choose it to be. They say that actually the true death is when your name is mentioned for the very last time. That's the end that takes you out and you don't really have any more cards to play, or so people think. How many of you guys own your own business here? Show of hands. Awesome. This is gonna be, if you choose it to be, you're like, oh, I don't know if that's awesome. No, I hope that this is awesome for you, because I hope that if you choose to take on this message today, if you go left here with one nugget, I hope that it's that you have this incredible capability to sow in powerful moments that'll ripple out long after you're here. And if you're owning a business, you're creating something from the ground up, generally speaking, you are tapped into something really deep inside of you that you might not even be able to divine most days. It just seems to drive you forward. Even in the moments where you're like, this is crazy and stupid. Why did I think I can do this? And yet there's this little guy in there with toggles going, nope, you're gonna go forward, you're gonna go forward, you're gonna go forward. And you find yourself a year, 2 years, 3 years doing the entrepreneurial game going, I think I'm gonna survive this. I think we're gonna do it. And the thing is that a lot of times when you're in that entrepreneurial game, your vision is just survival to the next day, to the next week, to the next month, to that next land of a client so that we could get paid. I'm getting sick of ramen. That would be really great if we could have a little bit more, cash in the hopper. I think what's really cool about knowing that this is reality is that if you want to practice your ripple effect, you can do it in the legacy of what you create, how you design. Even if you're not here as a business owner, if you're a creator, you're a designer, you can sow legacy and ripples into everything that you do. How many of you guys start your projects with an end in mind? Beautiful. Did you start with not doing that? Did you start with just maybe checking the box? Did you ever go through that moment? I'm staring at you, so you're it.
I think you have to go through it to know that you need to have an end.
Yeah.
I think you have to do it a few times to recognize what are we working towards.
Exactly.
And defining that. Yeah.
What is your experience with not starting with the end in mind? What do you notice about projects?
They don't end.
Right? How many of you guys have done a branding project and you're on round 36 and you're like, good gracious. No joke, did we not go through that? Recently. We forgot to ask the end question. Oh, I apologize, this isn't fitting on the screen, but here's the main gist of this. That's how many new businesses start a year. That's how many who don't make it. This is a bit of a sobering number. I promise I'm not here to tell you to go get a 9-to-5. What I am here to say is that I believe in my heart of hearts that that number could be changed if entrepreneurs started with the end in mind. I'm very blessed to work with a leadership development organization that poured into me as I was trying to cultivate my own career. And the gentleman who founded that has a 500-year plan. And when I first heard that, I thought he was nuts. Right? You laugh. It's great, but where do you even start? We don't have Moses here to talk to, so I'm not really sure how he did that, but he had a 500-year plan. Now, here's what's really interesting. He passed away. And his business is still going and thriving and global and incredible, and the people that come pumping out of there are people you and I know really well in the celebrity ring. And I believe that the only reason why his business is still going is because he took the time to think through what a 500 plan could look like. Does that mean that he has a checklist for, well, year one, day one? These are the 5 things you're going to do? No. But he took the time to say, my vision without me in it would be that this is what we're bringing into the world. This is what we're creating. This is what our ripple effect is going to be. So here's the secret to success when you have ends. 1, you get to surrender to them. You can't fight it. They're going to happen. There's no magic button for us to stop having end moments. But the secret to the success of your project, of that logo you're designing, of that client that you're trying to land right now, of the business that you are in the middle of growing, is the end. And if you have not thought through what that looks like, you're going to set yourself up for a lot of heartache and a lot of trial and tribulation that you could be avoiding if you had the end in mind. So, one of the things that we do, by the way, this is Helen Keller. The most pathetic person in the world is someone who has sight but no vision. I was like, dang, I didn't know she was that blunt. Has anybody else seen that quote from her? Or it was new to me. Okay, good. All right, good. Because that was, it's real. Do you ever have moments where people say something, you're like, ouch, but true. Okay. I want to take a moment to highlight this so you don't think that this is an Elizabeth Mead thing. I want to give you some proof. Let's take Steve Jobs. I just watched the documentary on him not too long ago. I think I would have struggled underneath him on a day-to-day basis, but here's the one thing that I can firmly believe in is that he had a vision way beyond anybody's comprehension. And whether you like Apple or not, I know I probably have some Apple haters in here, my husband being one of them. So if you are an Apple lover, come join my side of the fight, and if you're not, go join his, please. Steve was firm on the vision of what he saw, and he saw home computers when there were none. He saw people like you and I having careers working from home when that wasn't even close to being a thing. He had the end in mind, and he was so dedicated to it that most people, by most accounts, would call him a big a-hole. I was not brave enough to say the full word. Okay. Jim Carrey. Again, I'm not saying that I love these people or that I'm for them. Please don't, I don't want to get any hate mail that says, I can't believe that you support. I'm not supporting. I just found stories that would help you and I understand end moments count. He was broke as broke could be, and he wrote himself a multi-million-dollar check and kept it in his pocket. That was his end. And then his very first movie, that's what he made, to the penny, what he wrote. That's how powerful as human beings our manifestation power is. You can literally go, how many of you are going to go write yourselves $1 million check today? Yeah. Truth, I wrote one this week. I have a goal. It's kind of crazy. You want to hear it? I wrote a check for $5 million, and it's not going to me. It's going to a cause that I believe in that helps kids. And I said, 2 years. Watch me, 2 years, we're going to create this. And myself and 3 other entrepreneurs around the world said, okay, and we all signed the check. And I'm carrying that around with me because that's my end. You can have multiple ends in mind. It doesn't have to be just your end of your life or the end of a relationship. It could be the end of your project, the end of the next level of money that you want to create, whatever it is. And just to kind of give you another idea, I've already played that game before, and I wrote a check for $173,000 that I didn't have, and we created it in 3 days. That's the power of intention and commitment. Walt Disney, think he had an end in mind with his vision? Yes. Thank you. It's okay, we're getting to the part where you guys get to do most of the speaking. He did. And he's gone, and his vision lives on. And we can get into the other aspects of it. Let's just keep it simple. His vision lived beyond him. Now, I often meet with entrepreneurs who go, it's not about me. I don't want it to be about me. They're worried that having a vision and it projecting out beyond them, I think, makes them look unhumble or like they're egotistical or egocentric. And I get that. For the first part of my career, I would say, I like being behind the curtain. I hope nobody ever knows my name because I just don't want anybody to think that I want the stage. And I'm actually an introvert. After this, I'm going home in my PJs. And my husband said he got me Jack. So I'm winning. But the reality is, I love these people up here that work for me. And I love the clients that we work with. Enough to go, okay, I'm going to put that aside and I'm going to think through what will 10 years down the line look like for me? What will it look like when I choose to end an era and not be the main face and driver of Tandem, and I turn it over to the next generation who wants to potentially do it, which I guess is our son. Grayson came and asked me if he went to the right college if we would consider letting him be a part of the company. Just letting you know since you're in charge of ops. So, Grayson's our son. We have 4 kids, 2, 8, 2, 10. Whew! Send me coffee and chocolate when you think of me, please. My challenge to you today is that if you have never sat down and thought of the end, I would challenge you to take action now. And we're going to do that a little bit right now together. One of the things at Tandem, when you come in as a client, I like to say, oh good, this is gonna be fun. So, and I let them do a lot of talking, a lot of answering, a lot of visioning. It's like roll up your sleeves, get in the trenches with us. Are you leaving because you're scared of that? Oh. The reality is I'm so curious about your dream, your vision, your opportunities in the end moments. So I'm gonna challenge challenge you guys to think through a couple of questions. I'm going to ask one brave soul to come down and take advantage of an opportunity. Somebody who really, really, really wants their whatever to thrive and grow. Is anybody in here looking for answers? He's poking you. You come down. He was like, nudge, that's your cue. Come down. Give him a hand. Do you like standing or sitting?
Standing.
Okay, perfect. What's your name?
Austin.
Austin. What do you do, Austin?
I'm a freelance motion designer and I train people how to animate.
Awesome. That's great. How long have you been doing that?
Probably about 5 years.
Okay. So if I were to say, hey, where are your business right now? Like if you were going to say this is point A and identify it, where's your business at?
Can you clarify?
Sure. So I like to say, in envisioning and trying to figure things out, it's good for us to know where we are. So it is, you know what, we're great, we're established, we're growing, revenue's coming in, we're landing clients easily. Sometimes it really is, Elizabeth, I've had ramen for the last 3 months straight. Sometimes it's, you know what, I'm at that place, I'm not quite ready to pull the trigger financially to hire a new person, but if I want to grow this to the next level, that's exactly what I need to be doing. So is it the chicken or the egg, or what do I do with that? So where are you, if you're open, are you open?
Yeah.
This is a safe space, right, for him to share? Okay. So where's your business right now? You know, you can hold that.
My business is at a place where, yeah, I'm on the verge of what feels like maybe not a complete end, but a shift.
Okay.
Freelance has been amazing, but I definitely want to push more in that direction of leading other people, training, bringing up others that would like to be in a position where I've been. And so I've been on that verge for like a year plus.
Okay.
And it feels like it's not happening, but I'm just being persistent.
That's
And
good.
I don't know if that answers.
No, that's perfect. Persistence is key. So let me ask you this. 1 year from now, if you were to think about 1 year from now, where is your business?
12 months from now, I am very selectively taking on client work.
Okay.
I have at least one person helping me run behind the scenes stuff with my courses and membership, and it feels weird to just
Yeah, I know, it does, doesn't it? It's okay, keep going.
say it out loud.
This is called a bold declaration, by the way.
Yeah. No, like my wife and I have been doing a lot of visioning for the business, and I know that, I have a hard time putting numbers on things or dates on things.
Yeah.
Because I've put big numbers and dates together and they haven't matched. So that's why I'm like, I know that I just have to be persistent, and that keeping at it is the thing that's going to get me there. But I would love to be at a place where the business itself is making $250,000. I have employees, and I have a large group of people who are getting incredible results through my notarial courses.
And you set a number.
Yeah.
You just declared an end moment.
Yep.
An end moment that'll serve you, right? Great. So 10 years from now.
10 years. So I know that we have this notion that you have to like earn your place. You know, you feel like you have to go through the ranks or things like that. And I get myself caught in this place of like, I'm not good enough to teach people X, Y, or Z because I haven't achieved as much as I want to in that area. But I know that I can be a leader that inspires people, and so I want to not keep myself or sell myself short and just say like I can only do X, Y, or Z because I don't feel like I have what it takes, or I'm not there yet. I have to earn it. But I know that I want to get to a place where I are kind of shaking off that bit of insecurity. And so and this is all you get to the place where I want to help people become financially prosperous with their businesses. I have so much passion around talking about money, and it's such a difficult thing for a lot of creative people to just say numbers, like saying $250,000 feels real weird, even though I'm super comfortable talking about money. But that's like a place that I know I want to make an impact is on the money side of creative businesses
Yeah.
and freelancers.
So, I'm going to give you a gift if you choose to receive it. This idea that you have to earn it, you have to work hard. How many of us heard that you have to work hard to get what we want in life? Awesome. Totally a lie. And some of you are working hard and you're like, what do you mean that's totally a lie? And we'll talk after this. You have an opportunity to have an end moment with that paradigm that's on autoplay in your mind. You don't have a problem talking about money for other people, but when it comes to the gift for yourself, it sounds like there's some resistance. And you have a gift right now that you can say, yeah, today I'm going to end that, and I'm going to step into $250,000 in the next year. Isn't that exciting? Yeah, you can do it, and you are worthy of it. You have the gifts and the passion for a reason, not because you're supposed to be hitting some wall and having somebody tell you, oh, I was looking at your scorecard. Not yet, man, not yet. Because you're the person looking at the scorecard.
Yeah.
So you have an opportunity. That's another example of an end moment where you can go, I'm ending that thought. And I'm saying, 250,000, watch me. And I'm going to go get it.
Yeah.
Good job.
I accept that.
Good. Okay, we're not done. 75 years from now. I know, right? You're like, what? Who said, oh my gosh? It's possible. Do you really want to grow your business? Where's your beautiful wife? You guys are putting your blood, sweat, and tears and love into this, right? Is it really just, it'll live however long it lives, and then, no. These are our babies. Don't you want to see it go off into the world? Preferably with a really cool buyout with options? Okay, so 75 years, are you going to work in 75 years from now? Oh, come on, really?
I've never thought of retirement as like the end goal.
Yeah.
It's impact and choosing to like follow curiosity.
Yeah.
And I want to have a business that's running on autopilot, and then I have the
Sorry.
I want to be able to have that, like the place where I'm envisioning the
Yeah.
company, but I'm not the one that has to sit in the office all day. I might be off around the world promoting her books.
Oh, can we talk afterwards? I need to learn from you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing you said about being worthy, I recently heard someone talking about that, and it was somebody who got to a place of making, as an entrepreneur, making, multiple millions of dollars a year, and she realized that was, she thought she needed to be worthy of that much success, and
Yeah.
the only thing that changed was her perception of her worthiness, and that we're all worthy of the things that we want.
Yeah.
We can't earn that, that's just something we all inherently have.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, so back to 75 years.
Oh. Yeah, 75 years.
Get out of your head and just let it flow out. Whatever you say, let it be said.
All right, 75 years. The company that I'm running, or the companies that I'm running, are just making such a wild impact. They are household names, and that people just recognize that as the thing that took them out of a scarcity mindset, starving artist mindset, and that people feel way more free. And I just get to live a life that is just insanely fulfilling because other people have been raised by the work that we do.
Did you guys hear that? Dude, I want to be a part of that. Do yourself a favor and get the recording of this. It's going to be online, right? And listen to that.
Yeah.
Because that's your end moment.
Yeah.
And now you have direction. I'm not saying that there won't be plot twists. I wish I could say that there's not plot twists. I'm probably making a really nice head mark up here. Laura Lee, how are we on time? We're good? Awesome. There will be plot twists, but man, isn't it easy to find north when you now know what north is?
Yeah.
And you said something about scarcity. Scarcity is something that I often am working on in myself. Okay, that's a scarcity mindset. Oh, that was a scarcity thought. And so the fact that you want to impact and empower others to not live in their scarcity, that's a beautiful thing and a rare thing in this world. Because most people outside those doors are saying, nah, you gotta work hard and you have to earn it penny by penny by penny, but there's so many success stories that defy that. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for coming up here. That takes guts to come up here and say big numbers, and this is what my end goal dream is. You can do the same thing with your art. I like to do it with context. When I sat down for this particular talk and said, okay, what I want the end, obviously, to be honest, same fears. Who am I to stand up in front of all these incredible people that don't know me and try to pretend that I have it all together? I don't. I'm still learning and growing and figuring things out just like everybody else is. But when I got out of my own way, I thought, even if there's one person in here today that's going through something, I have no idea what you guys are going through, but I would venture to guess that somebody walked in today going, life really sucks, but I know I'm just gonna take one more brave step this morning because I know there's hope. Or at least I really hope there's hope because I got nothing left. I don't know who you are, you don't need to tell me who you are, but my hope is that there's one nugget in here that'll get you guys going back to your desks today or wherever you're working from and starting to think about your end moments, the ones that you can start putting some passion into. For me, the context of today was just to be real and authentic and talk to you. And what that looked like was some laughter moments, some not worrying about being too overly polished, not freaking out when my slides are not, presenting all the way in full, because that's not what it's about. For me, the end moment here is an opportunity for us to connect in this room and gain a little bit of insight from one another. So, we're gonna take a couple of minutes. Look at the people around you because you're going to get to know them. Yes, they're going to love my hands-on stuff, aren't they? It does you no good if I'm sitting here talking at you for 45 minutes. What does you good is if you take a little bit of it and talk it through. So what I would like to do, if you would honor me with, how long do I have?
About 10 minutes.
Okay, so we're going to take 5. And together, partner up. You can be in groups of 2, 3, whatever you want to do, and I want you guys to answer questions. Where are you right now? Where will you be in 1 year? And then take it up in 5-year increments from there. See how far you can go. 1 year, then 5 years, then 10 years, then 15. Trust me, it's worth the exercise. And do yourself a favor. Don't be like, oh, what does she want me to say? I don't. Pick anything. If you don't have a business in this room, pick the project you're working on. And yes, talk about what your project will look like 10 years from now. If you're designing a logo, take it all the way out. Tell me what it's going to look like 100 years from now, please. Because that's the purpose of your job, is to design something that will stand the test of time and go with people. So 5 minutes, partner up, answer those questions, please. I was an opera singer. I will bring out the note. No, I don't want to. Wow, you guys like exploded into collaboration. That was awesome. How many of you, guys, show of hands real quick, how many of you guys went into your 1 year and it was pretty easy? Show of hands. Great. 5 years. Keep your hands up if it was still easy. 10, 15, 20, 25? Ooh! Somebody come talk to her because she needs to get those bold proclamations out today. Yes. Just keep going with that. Okay, 30?
Maybe not 30.
Okay, all right. Well, now you know what your next stretch goal is, right? Here's my challenge to you guys, my invitation to you. Go back home and write out these things. If you could get to 1 but couldn't get to 5, you know where to start. If you have a project and you're like, I don't know, the client is like, anybody seen the video, the evolution of the stop sign?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. I'm not the, we're probably, yeah. So I will put that up on our social page. Because your client's like, well, I think, you know, maybe if you put the line here, no, put it there. No, I want blue. No, could you do it in pink? So if you're in that part of a project and you're going, I can't think of the logo 10 years from now. I can't even think of it 10 minutes. They're going to change it on me again. That's okay. Get back to where you are the expert breathing life into that piece of art and knowing where it's going to be 10 years from now. That's where your starting point is. I want to take the opportunity to go ahead and wrap us out. I hope that you found this to be of value. We have a couple of minutes for question and answer sessions. Does anybody have any burning questions that they want to ask before we wrap up?
Oh, I get the mic.
You do.
Okay. So, what tools do you use or practices if you're in that space of, okay, I can get to a year, and then after that, my catastrophizing,
Yeah.
restrictions, self-doubt, I can't see past that. What tools do you use to?
Perfect. Excellent question. It's really a beingness question. So what you're describing, it was taught to me as probability thinking kicks in. Well, wait, hold on. Math equations, calculus, a little bit of algebra, a little bit of the 8-ball. Okay, no, that's not possible. That's what you're doing. You get to find a way to turn that off and step into possibility. And the best way to do that is to just do what ifs. What ifs tend to not freak your brain out so much. What if it looked this way? You could just be a curious cat. What if it looked like that? What if 5 years from now it's this? What if it's that? And then what you do is you pay attention to your body. You will spark on things that have purpose for you. So anybody ever get feedback and you're like, I don't know, I didn't really feel anything. They said I sucked at life, but I went, okay. And then you have somebody who goes, you know, that skirt is just really not flattering. You're like, wait a second. And there's like this, that rumble doesn't mean that they're right. It just means that there's something inside of you that you get to find and figure out and learn. When you feel the rumble in a positive, like 250,000, I'm gonna ask, did you feel a little bolt of electricity? You kept saying, this is weird, this is weird, this is weird, which is an indicator usually to me that that's electricity. Okay, that number's real in him. Now, if he had said $500, hey, for some people, a $500 gig is a big deal. They're still not, that's their next level, so no shame on that. But 250,000, your body was a little reactive. That tells you you're on a path that you want to be investigative of. That goes with goaling and visioning, and it also goes with feedback. Feedback comes and you feel nothing, awesome. Not for you, probably more their problem than yours. But if they say something and you go, ooh, there was something there, then you know to investigate it. Quiet spaces, binaural beats. What is the one that we use? Brainwave is great. If you're like stuck, do you ever get just stuck in your own head?
Yeah.
Where you're just swirling and swirling and you can feel yourself. If I said, where are you in your body right now? You'd be like, right here. That's, okay, good. You want to stop thinking, stop trying to visioning in those moments. Get back down to ground and center. My husband actually has some great tools if you want to meet with him afterwards too that we've used. They're not ours, they're another organization's that it's incredible. They have a great tool set. We use it to build our business every day. So, any other questions? You guys are easy. So either I really knocked it out of the park here and you've got a lot to noodle on, or you're like, that was so not what I signed up for, but at least the bagels were good. So if you have any questions, I will be here for a little bit. My team will be here as well. We're happy to answer anything. Otherwise, I would suggest you guys keep talking about these visions, these end moments that you can catapult you to the next growth period. All right, thank you for your time.